Yes. Welcome once again, everyone, to Cannabis News with Joe Klare. It is August 24th, 2018. The end of another awesome week here at Cannabis News, presented, of course, by the Marijuana Times. Check us out at marijuanatimes.org. Make sure you click the video tab if you want this show. Of course, you can check out the great articles, social media networks, and more. marijuanatimes.org. Today, I'm talking about a University of Philadelphia doing a little competition, a little Shark Tank-like competition for medical marijuana businesses. Also, a new poll out about how many young Americans are consuming cannabis on a regular basis, and also an update on the Denver social use program and the slow start that is going on there. We also got a little funny thing we're going to get to here in a minute, a little comic relief. First, Cannabis News, of course, brought to you by nature-side.com. Side is spelled C-I-D-E. Check out their organic, all-natural pesticides. If you're a cannabis cultivator in a state where it's legal, you want to grow safe and poison-free, you don't want to use harmful chemicals on your grow, and of course, you want to be regulatory compliant in the state that you're growing in. You don't want to use any banned pesticides. You can accomplish all of this by going to nature-side.com, a proud sponsor of Cannabis News. Now, as I said, I normally don't do this, but just before I went on the air, something funny popped up on Twitter, and I took a screenshot of it because it's a tweet that I'm sure wasn't meant to be. I'm sure there was some sort of hacking situation, and I'm sure that it will be deleted pretty soon, although it's been up for over an hour at this point. It has over 2,000 retweets and 5,000 likes. Now, viewer discretion is advised. If you are offended by misspelled curse words, then you might want to skip through this if you're watching the video version of the show. It was tweeted out on the account of Representative Joe Kennedy III, the official, verified Twitter account of Joe Kennedy III, who, if memory serves me, is one of the least marijuana-friendly Democrats in existence. This is what was tweeted out. You see it there. It was 3 o'clock on August 24th. I said a little over an hour ago from when I'm recording this. It's effing nice out. Who trying to chill, smoke some Lound? Loud. I guess it's supposed to be loud, but it has an N in it. Like I said, apparently some sort of hacking situation. Somebody's, there's a couple tweets on there, but the only one that seemed marijuana related. So a little comic relief for you all out there from Representative Joe Kennedy III, or whoever got a hold of his phone or got into his account to tweet this out. It's effing nice out. And he says, the F word with minus the G. It's effing nice out. Who trying to chill, smoke some Lound? No commas, of course, because why? Why would you have commas? I'm sure whoever was doing this was doing it quickly and up for over an hour, over 5,000 likes. That's pretty impressive. And it's pretty funny. I understand that comedy is subjective and all that, but come on. You got a congressman that gets tweeted out on his Twitter account, and he's not even very favorable towards marijuana law reform. That's pretty funny. Come on. Who's trying to smoke some Lound? I know I am. Love the Lound. It's good stuff. This first story is by Jason Sander from marijuanatimes.org. Philadelphia University to hold funding competition for cannabis startups. Talking about Thomas Jefferson University in Philadelphia. They've been holding funding competitions for startups in the medical field since 2015. Something called Jazz Tank, a la Shark Tank. Jazz stands for Jefferson Accelerator Zone. The Jazz Tank Award was created, quote, as a way to foster entrepreneurship and innovation at Jefferson. The Jazz Tank was created to help members of the healthcare community develop their business ideas into tangible products that can benefit the medical field. The competition this year will be focused on medical cannabis and hemp industries. The contest is called Cannavation. There you go. This cleverness just abounds with all these words. And it's the first of its kind to be sponsored by a university. The first place winner will be awarded $10,000 in funding, a free provisional or patent application, and free business consulting. There also may be up to 2 runner-ups that can be awarded $5,000 apiece in funding with similar patent and consulting services. Applications close on August 20th. The Cannavation finalists will make their pitches on October 3rd, 2018, in a style that is reminiscent of the popular show Shark Tank. Another way, another example, another indication, whatever you want to call it, of marijuana entering the mainstream of society, the normalization, the mainstreaming of cannabis, whatever you want to call it. We use both words here. Both work perfectly well. Mainstreaming of cannabis or the normalization of cannabis. And there's more and more examples of this every single day. And that, of course, is a good thing. And now with, Representative Joe Kennedy on board, well, we got it all wrapped up. It's good stuff. This next story from marijuanamoment.net. 1 in 4 young Americans consume marijuana, according to a new study. Nearly 1 in 4 Americans between the ages of 18 and 29 say they regularly or occasionally consume cannabis. That's according to a recent Gallup poll. That's nearly twice the rate of cannabis consumption that the rest of the population cops to, 13% for the population overall. Far exceeds the percentage of adults 50 and older who say that they toke up. The survey also found that among all Americans, consuming cannabis is now considerably more popular than smoking cigars, which is 9% of people. 5% of people still chew tobacco. I don't know why. But again, to each their own. And 4% use a pipe. Americans aged between 50 and 64, and those aged 65 and over are just as likely to smoke cigars as they are to use cannabis. And a separate poll last month, Gallup found that 82% of Americans say that tobacco is harmful to human health, while only 27% say that marijuana is threatening to health. So good stuff. More progress. Again, this is what a lot of this show is nowadays, is chronicling and fostering and help boost the progress that's being made across many, many, many fronts when it comes to marijuana law reform. This last story from DenverPost.com. Denver's first of its kind social marijuana use program for businesses is mostly a bust. Can it be fixed? I just realized that I didn't bring up a little picture that I want to show you here, so I'll load that up. Bam, just did it while I was talking to you. Technology is amazing, but can it be fixed? There was a come to navigating the maze of restrictions that came with Denver's voter passed law allowing marijuana use in licensed businesses. The Coffee Joint cracked the code. The Coffee Joint is so far the only licensee under the 2016 ordinance. It's a combination of coffee shop and bring your own cannabis vape bar that's within spitting distance of Interstate 25, south of West 13th Avenue, whatever that means to people who, I guess, if people who live in Denver, that means something and they know where that is. Next door is a dispensary that is shared ownership. A door that was recently added between the businesses underscores the promotional purpose served by the Coffee Joint, which on its own is a money loser. While the place is rarely packed, co-owner Rita Tesaluk says the shop has counted a steady stream of more than 3,200 users of the consumption area, including tourists, with no place to try out their purchases. But here's the problem. The restrictions are so much when it comes to these social use areas in Denver. And for those of you watching the video, I'm bringing up a graphic right here that shows it's a map produced by software company Zoning. It shows in green where Denver businesses may be able to obtain cannabis consumption area licenses. Areas shaded red represent zoning districts where licenses aren't allowed, as well as a 1,000-foot buffer zone surrounding schools, childcare centers, treatment centers, public pools, and recreational centers. The restrictions are so much and so restrictive that even some opponents of the original social use measure are pointing out that things are rough. I'm trying to find the paragraph that talks about that, but I guess I won't. I guess I should should plan these things better. Anyway, officials, everybody involved is saying that the restrictions are too much. As you can see there, it's really crazy. There's only a few slivers of green area in Denver where these social use areas can be placed. Of course, social use areas are they're even more restrictive than, say, a bar. If you go to a bar, you can buy liquor and you can drink it there. These social use areas, you have to bring your own. You can't buy it there. You can't smoke where you buy it. There's all kinds of restrictions. There are restrictions on these areas that, of course, don't quite apply to like liquor stores and drug stores and all these other places, which they're arbitrary anyway. I mean, is it bad to have a dispensary or a social use area 999 feet from a school, but 1,001 feet from a school? It's no big deal. It makes no sense. Even if it was right next door to the school, it doesn't make any sense. You have to be 21 to get into these places. You have to show ID. There's no reason for there to be huge buffer zones away from schools and parks and all this other stuff, as if they're going to be outside with, edible lollipops trying to lure kids in. That's not what's going to happen. In any case, maybe the restrictions, there's maybe a second license that's going through the process right now for social use in Denver. Until these restrictions are lifted, there's going to be a lot of problems. I mean, you can't make a lot of money in a business like this, or any business really, stuck in an industrial zone that's away from foot traffic and all that. So Hopefully things improve in Denver. Right now, the social use program is struggling. We continue to cover all of these stories, of course, here on Cannabis News. At the end of the week, as I said, your weekend can start. Please go enjoy. We'll see you next week. Check out marijuanatimes.org, all the great stories. Click the video tab. Subscribe to the Marijuana Times on YouTube, Vimeo, or Apple Podcasts if you want the audio-only version of the show. Keep spreading the word about cannabis through this show. Keep liking, sharing, commenting on the videos. Thanks for watching and listening to another great week here on Cannabis News, and we'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching.